It is Wednesday night. It's July 12th, 2023. The Kicking Out Podcast is streaming live on the Kicking Out Podcast YouTube channel and on our Twitter page. Follow us at Kicking Out Pod on all social media platforms if you haven't already. And most importantly, click that subscribe button on YouTube. Click the notification bell so you get notified whenever we are recording a new episode. And of course, if you're listening on your favorite audio podcast platform, that is a mouthful tonight. Hit that subscribe button, hit that 5-star rating, give us a review. We really appreciate it. With all that said, I'm out of breath. I'm Tanner Lee. One of my co-hosts, Paul Zartman, is with me tonight, and the other one, Austin Shepard, will be joining us momentarily. Paul, how we doing tonight?
It's Wednesday night. Had a great episode of Dynamite, and I'm ready to podcast. So trimmed up the beard a little bit too, so you can't call me, roadkill as easily tonight. It looks a little bit different.
Well, I'm fired up, ready to talk a lot of wrestling, particularly AEW Dynamite. And it looks like we have one of our loyal viewers and listeners, Majin's in the house tonight. He says, of course, buy their merch, you marks.
Yes.
Where can they buy our merch, Paul?
KickingOutShop.com.
Yes, Majin, that was a good sell. You get the...
Thank you very much, sir.
Get the gold star tonight.
Gold star. You are 1-star Majin. Keep it up. You'll be 5-star before you know it.
I like that. Well, like I said in the intro, as my dog wants to chime in as well. As I said in the intro, Austin Shepard, our other co-host, will be joining us here sometime momentarily tonight. He's a little behind catching up on the episode, but that's all good. But we can go ahead with one of our opening segments. I can answer the question, and then you can re-ask Shep later on. So, Paul, hand it over to you.
What are we drinking tonight?
Well, I'm boring once again this week, but I did change it up a little bit. The mountains are blue once again this week, so I got Coors Light, but I'm going with a tall boy tonight. So I'm going with the 16-ouncer, not the 12-ouncer tonight. So a little different.
Okay.
How about you?
Right,
Mountain Dew.
Standard.
Do the do. And Majin's drinking a Molson Canadian. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, while we are waiting for Shep, I know we are a AEW podcast created by AEW fans for AEW fans, but we do occasionally talk about other promotions, and I like to dabble with your guys' pro wrestling knowledge from time to time. So I got a challenge for you, Paul, if you're up for it, before Shep joins us.
Oh, great. Let's see how bad I can fail this.
You want to do a quiz?
Sure.
I'm going to quiz you on not former. Can you name all the WWE champions in history?
No, I cannot.
Let me see if I can get this to work here. I'm going to try to share screen. Hopefully everybody can see that. And so, Paul, I'm going to hit this timer, and you have 8 minutes to complete this. You will give me the answer. I'll type it in. We'll see if it's right or wrong. You game for this?
I'm going to fail this miserably.
I got 43 out of 54 right when I did it, so I got 80%.
All right.
We'll see how you do, and then we'll quiz Shep, too, when he joins later on. We'll do that towards the end of the show. But, all right, timer starts now.
I don't know. Man, 1963. That is.
Well, you don't have to go in order, Paul. You can just name it, and I type it in. It fills it in.
The Rock.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
The Undertaker.
Yep.
Triple H.
Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, I'm not cheating, I promise you.
I know you're not.
Working at the same time. Let's see here. Randy Orton.
Yep.
John Cena.
Yep.
Roman Reigns, obviously.
Yep.
Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Man, is Universal counted in this? Oh, thanks. Thanks for the tip.
Majin said if you were cheating, you'd be giving names much faster with the laughing emoji.
Yes, I would. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Man, I can see a lot of people and can't think of any names right now. This is thanks for putting me on the spot.
You're
here.
welcome.
Mick Foley.
Yep. You have 10 out of 54 so far with 6 minutes left.
Thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome. I'm letting the audio listeners know since they can't view it.
Yeah, 10 out of 54, 550 left.
Just start throwing out names, dude.
Hogan.
Yep. I was wondering. I was waiting for that one.
Booker T.
No.
Oh, all right. Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Rey Mysterio. Jr.
Yes.
Chris Jericho.
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
They're all right there in the row, too. Yeah, you could tell when I watched the most, right? Batista.
Yes, sir.
This is probably wrong. Ted DiBiase.
Yes.
Oh, hey, look at that. I got one that I didn't think I'd get.
Well,
Oh,
I thought you did, but now I'm not. Oh, there
yeah,
it
it's
is.
like, yeah, it's a weird spot.
Well, DiBiase bought it, if you remember correctly. He never won
Yeah.
it. So
Okay. All right. Bradshaw, JBL.
Yep.
Mark Henry.
No.
No.
He won the world title.
That's right. Kofi Kingston. Good Lord. How am I forgetting Kofi?
Yes.
Jeez. How could I forget Kofi? Everybody loves Kofi. The Miz.
There's your boy. Yep.
Edge.
Yep.
Christian won the world heavyweight, didn't he? He didn't win the WWE.
Correct.
Okay. See. Yeah.
You got the early 2000s covered.
Jeff Hardy.
Yes.
I'm glad you typed in Hardy, so it would have gave me either one if Matt would
You're
have been. I
welcome.
didn't think Matt had been.
You're
but,
welcome.
I'm trying to go through.
Matt
the
was the
money in
ECW champion.
Yes. I'm trying to go through the Money in the Bank winners. Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Balor.
No.
I didn't think so, but you know. Oh man. I'm looking at this list and I'm like, I know I'm forgetting people, but I can't think of who I'm forgetting.
You're gonna kick yourself on some of these.
Rhodes.
No.
I didn't think so because that's the whole storyline with Cody.
Right.
But you never know. Maybe Dustin won one that I was unaware of.
Yeah.
Big Show. I don't think that's not
Yeah,
right.
it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
No,
okay.
in '99 he held it for a brief stint, and again in like 03 or 4.
Okay. Which they don't credit him for. So see.
Right. Because it's when they first won it.
Oh, first one. Man.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's
Owen Hart? I don't think Owen won one, did he?
no, and what it would have done when I typed in Hart earlier,
Hart,
it would
it
have
would've-
yeah,
Boom, boom, boom.
yeah.
I know I'm going to kick myself. I've got just over 2 minutes left. 24 out of 54. Wow. What'd you get?
I got 43.
Oh, well, you're going to do better than me unless I can start pulling names out of my rear.
You might be able to. Just start throwing names out. I'll type as fast as I can.
Yeah, Kane.
There you go.
The big red machine, not the blue one. We'll talk about him later, I'm sure. Man. Razor Ramon.
No.
Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Okay. I don't feel as bad now. I got that one. I know there's
a couple big ones. You're really going to kick yourself.
Yeah, I know. You put me on the spot. I don't do well with tests.
I'm going to give you a hint for a couple big legends.
Yeah, let's go through that list of people, shall we, that I haven't named off already. Again, I watched in the early 2000s mainly.
Oh, I know. I know.
I got Eddie. I got Ray. Chavo didn't win it, and you typed in Guerrero, so it would have popped up with Chavo if he did. Big E.
Big E did. Yes, good one. Good
All right. Xavier never did. God, I know. As soon as you start populating these, I'm going to be like, oh, Vince didn't win it, did he?
Yes, he did. 99.
Oh, okay. Ooh. See, I wasn't watching as much then. Man, I can see names and I can't put faces to names right now because you got me stressed out. Got Kurt, got John, Jericho, Lesnar, Eddie, JB.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I know. And I'm staring at faces right now and I am failing this.
28 out of 54. We got Buddy Rogers, Bruno Sammartino, Ivan Koloff, Pedro Morales, Stan Stasiak, Super Billy Graham, Bob Backlund, Iron Sheik, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, The Ultimate Warrior,
Sergeant Slaughter,
Rick freaking Flair.
Yeah. Again, I was thinking more world heavyweight for Flair.
Yokozuna,
that's why it didn't come to mind.
Sid, Rob Van Dam, Sheamus, CM
I
Punk,
should have known those two. Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley.
See, I forgot Bray won it. I was sitting there thinking Bray too, and I'm like, no, he didn't win it. That was the Universal.
Well, you got an F, but you got more than half. So 57%.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we'll see how Shep does later on. Tonight.
Hopefully worse than me.
We will see. We will see. But that was fun. That was fun to pass the time by a little bit before we get into talking Dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, look who's here.
Hey.
Hey, it's Shep's turn to do this now.
We will let him go at the end of the show. So.
Oh, man.
I just gave Paul a quiz. He had 8 minutes to name all 54 WWE champions in history. He got 27 correct. 28 correct, excuse me.
Don't take that from me.
I got 43 correct.
No, hold on. Let's get... You're talking WWE or /WWF, WWWF. Like, how far are we going back?
It goes all the way back to 63.
Yeah, 63 to present day.
We'll let Shep do that at the end of the show. So it takes 8 minutes. You already
gave him a heads up, and now he's going to sit there and think throughout the show about what happened. Jeez.
That's true. That's true. You know what? Let's just do it right now.
Good.
We'll do it right now. I'll share the screen again, and we'll get out of the way, and then we'll have tons of Dynamite to talk about. So. All right.
Have fun, Shep.
Let me pull it up here, then I'll start the timer if my mouse cooperates. Come on, mouse.
Wow.
All right, Shep. So I got it right here for you on the screen. And when you're ready, let me know, and I will hit the timer. You give me the person, I type it in. I'll type as fast as I can. So.
Yeah, and you don't have to go in order. He waited, 2 minutes to tell me that.
You don't. You ready?
All right, hold on. So So we're talking when the WWF started in '63. Now, when did they split from the NWA?
Hey, you're just gonna have to start guessing.
Well, I mean, is it an NWA champion?
No
or-
NWA champions on there. It's
Yeah, 'cause I threw-
WWF, WWF, WWE.
I'll give you this, Shep. I threw out Dusty. He did not come up.
No.
No. Dusty was only NWA only.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's not NWA.
You ready to rock?
Hold on.
No
He's
cheating
cheating.
here. No cheating here.
I'm just trying to get my bearings here. I mean, I'm late to the podcast. I've had a hell of a 2 days.
You have.
I just
Yes, you have.
this shit at me. Okay.
When you're ready, let me know. I'll click play quiz and we'll start firing this up.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Hogan,
Yes.
Flair,
Paul missed that one.
Rock,
Yes.
Stone Cold,
Yes.
Triple H,
Yep.
Shawn Michaels,
God, he's fired him off. Yep.
Jinder Mahal,
Oh, good one.
Dean Ambrose,
Just a second. Ambrose Mahal.
Kevin Owens,
Oh, no.
he was Universal. Damn it, you're right. He's Universal. Roman Reigns.
Yes.
God, that threw me off major. Bob Backlund.
God, I can't type. Yep.
Kevin Nash.
Yep.
Macho Man.
Another one Paul missed.
Warrior.
Shut it.
Another one Paul missed.
Shut it. I don't do well at tests.
Paul Orndorff.
No.
Giant. Andre.
Why can't I? What the hell?
I feel like
Yes.
you type better for Paul.
There we go. Jesus.
Bruno Sammartino.
Shut it, Tanner.
Wow. Buddy Rogers.
Yeah, you're getting some. I didn't. No.
No Buddy Rogers. All right.
I spelled it wrong. Let me make sure.
Bret Hart.
Yep.
Good Lord. We already had Michaels. All right. I need to calm down here for a minute.
You got 6 minutes. You got plenty of time. You're 16 out of 54 so far.
You only have to get 9 or 13 more, and you'll beat me.
Jiminy Christmas. Why am I drawing a blank?
It's tough. These are tough when you're on the
Hey,
spot.
I nailed the entire early 2000s.
You did.
I'm proud of myself.
You did.
Yeah, you did. Good for you. Randy Orton.
Yes.
Yeah, Lord, where did that come from? Did I already say Seth Rollins?
No, you did not.
Seth Rollins. Finn Balor.
Nope.
No, that was Universal.
I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H.
You already said them.
I did.
Yeah.
Mankind.
Yep.
Or Mick Foley. Undertaker.
Yep.
Yeah. Did I say Stone Cold? I take it. I can't see.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't make it bigger for some reason.
No, that's fine. Good Lord. Boy, you guys just threw me under the mat. Hold on. I'm getting thirsty.
You got this.
Yeah.
You don't have many from 2000 to 2001, so just to let you know.
2000 to 2001, there was a lot of title changes, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Rob Van Dam?
Yes.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy?
Yep.
I already said Taker. Edge.
Yep.
Take your time.
CM Punk.
CM Punk, yes.
Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Man, now I'm getting a blank here. Junkyard Dog.
No.
He should have. Big John Studd. I'm trying to go back old school here.
No.
No. Jimmy Fly Snuka?
No.
You never won it? Oh, jeez.
You're missing a couple big boys that you're going to kick yourself.
Yeah, I
Trust me, I did the same.
I can imagine a couple of the big people I'm missing here. I already said Owen Hart.
No, he never won one.
No, he never won one. No, British Bulldog never won one.
I'm just glad Shep and I are guessing some of the same names. Weren't champion.
I mean, did you have time to study for this, Paul?
No, he said, "Oh, by the way, we're doing this," and I'm like,
It was the same quiz I sent you guys earlier.
and then work called me, so I'm like trying to multitask while taking a quiz.
Jeez. Batista.
There you go.
Good Lord.
Shep is at 26.
2 minutes.
54
2
with
minutes.
2 minutes left.
God, how the hell did I forget Batista? John Cena.
Yeah, I was waiting on that one.
Oh my God.
That was almost as bad as Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Shut it.
God, that would have been embarrassing.
It was.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. Undertaker, Mankind. I already said those. Am I tied with Paul right now?
You one away from tying him.
Yeah.
Oh boy. 57 champions. Good Lord, you threw me on the spot. JBL.
Yes.
We are tied. You have 1 minute left. 28 out of 54.
Eddie Guerrero.
There you go.
Chris Benoit.
No, he was a world.
Oh. Chris Jericho.
See, that got me through.
Yep.
The Ocho. Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was that era. Kurt Angle.
See,
There you go. I was waiting for that
Dang
one.
it.
Already said Edge. Christian, no thank you.
31 out of 54. 30 seconds left.
I'm still going to kick my ass on missing some of these, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Get that era. Good Lord. Hell, didn't we do this during the – I should know this, the WrestleMania
Yeah.
bullshit. Oh.
5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
31 out of 54, Shep.
Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
I should count 32 because Buddy Rogers, I must have spelled wrong because it didn't take him when I typed him in. So, Buddy Rogers, Ivan Koloff, Pedro Morales, Stan Stasiak, Superstar Billy Graham, Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter, Yokozuna, Sid, Kane,
Show.
Vince McMahon, Big Show, Sheamus, The Miz, Rey Mysterio, Alberto Del Rio, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Big E.
That's pathetic.
I got more of the newer wrestlers than you did, and you got more of the old school than I did.
I said Buddy Rogers, right?
You did.
You
So,
did.
yeah, my stupid, I spelled it wrong. I spelled it with a DG, so that's my fault. That's my fault.
All right, that makes me feel a tad bit better about myself.
Yep.
I don't, because I was thinking of Flair as being a world champion and missed Flair.
Well, I think you had to throw those world champions out there, Balor held gold. I know that was back in the Universal state, but
First ever Universal Champion.
yeah. I forgot we got the dual belts. Shit, Marty McSorley. That's not like he's the champion. Yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I expect you guys to give me back one of these weeks because it's a fun website I came across called Sporkle. They got quizzes on everything. So,
do you know why he wanted to do that, right, Shep?
Sure.
So he could show Vince that he's better than the other two people on this podcast.
He's better than you, baby.
Yep. Hey, SmackDown got their highest viewership in years.
It's about time you did something right after Vince stopped throwing your script out.
Yep.
Good job, man. Way to be a team player there.
Yep, I tried.
I mean, you walked in there and he said, "That's some good shit, Tanner."
You about made him lose his streak. That's great.
Almost did.
Oh.
All right. So have you guys even started the episode yet?
No, we were milking it to give you time.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. So we ready to dive into this?
I want to know what Shep's drinking tonight, real quick.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Shep, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, we're going with the GOAT of all seltzers. I think I've had this before.
Pineapple Nooner.
Pineapple Nooner. It's just so good. They go down so smooth. But only reason is because I had to pace myself on the old bubbly. So we have a backup, which is she's plumb full if you can see the top.
Yes.
She's plumb full.
Got the good ice, it looks like, too.
And I'm still waiting on at least a free T-shirt, Kettle. A free T-shirt, hat, I'll wear whatever.
I really need to tag them this week. I keep saying I'm going to. I need
tag
to
them in. I'll wear a shirt, a hat, a fanny pack, whatever. Trust me, I'm a big supporter of you guys. I make sure there's some in the house at all times, if not more. So,
all right. Let's do this, shall we?
Let's do it.
We start off with a weird opener. No Orange Cassidy to start off the show tonight. Instead, we get Chris Jericho versus Commander.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed out of all the matches this was going to be the opener.
No. I figured we were getting Orange Cassidy to kick off the show, but we got this instead, which means we got to see Aubrey Edwards right off the bat because she is now Jericho's ref. Towards the end of the match, Commander delivers a super kick and a chop, then goes flying once more. Jericho counters into the Lion Tamer. Commander taps. Jericho wins.
Good opener. Jericho always does good with Lucha Libre, with luchadors, yes. I should say. It's just a style that fits him well. He can counter it well. Commander's smooth. The guy works the ropes with high spots better than about anybody in professional wrestling. Jericho had some really good counters tonight. Made the walls or the Lion Saber. I get those two confused the way he does it, but I'll call it the Lion Tamer the way he bent it tonight. Man, he made that look real. But good stuff. Jericho needed to win, and Commander did not look weak at all. So
it me, and maybe it was because I wasn't fast forwarding, but I was hurrying along.
Sure.
I thought Commander had a lot of, I wouldn't call them botches, but they weren't smooth. They weren't
as smooth as normal. Yeah.
Yes. Some of his flips, some of his kicks, I thought, and I'm not trying to be negative. Let me be the light guy to the show and be the Debbie Downer. But I don't know. I thought like when Commander works with a guy like Vikingo or Gringo Loco or Penta or whoever, another luchador, I feel like it's more intertwined, it's more fluid, it's more I don't know, it's like
how'd that go again, Shep?
Like when he did his rope walk from one side of the ring to the other and he did his big old flop, like he hit Jericho's arm. He didn't hit Jericho. Just little stuff like that. Other than that, no, I think the guy's super talented, super athletic, super entertaining for a high spot guy. I don't know if a 54-year-old or however the hell Jericho is. I just don't know if that's the correct opponent.
Yeah, I can agree with that. After the match, Don Callis' music hits and he makes his way down to the ring. Callis congratulates Jericho on his win, asks him if he saw the ratings on their segment last week, reminds Jericho of their past, throws it to a video of their time on the independent scene in Canada, where we see Bad News Allen, Callis with hair.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Afterwards, Jericho says he remembers what year it was from and jokes about still having his hair. He recalls being told by their mentor, Bad News Allen, to always stick with Callis, and Callis says they failed to do so. He says Allen must be smiling down at the possibility of them reuniting and tells them he already knows what to do in his heart.
Yeah, Callis does have music now. It's barely anything, but
yeah. I saw somebody reference it as sounds like the air conditioner running in the other room.
Yeah. But he came out. I like how they're starting to throw back to old footage like they did tonight. And if Jericho knew that was coming, he sold his reaction pretty good. Because it sure looked like to me like those were raw emotions, him seeing that video tonight, that he didn't expect that. I will say, I thought the crowd was good tonight, but I thought they were pretty flat in the opener and even in this segment. Callis didn't get the heat he usually does in this segment. Later on, he did.
Right. But yeah, not in this segment.
You mean for the main event that was awful. And I'm not talking the wrestling match.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yes. We then head over to a video of Hook blindsiding Jack Perry in his car and head to break. We come back from break, head backstage to see.
Can we talk about that real quick? The Hook Jack Perry. I mean, it's 3 weeks in a row they've kind of done something similar, but I had to laugh. Jack struggled with the child locks, as they said.
Yes.
Hook had no problem, but Hook smacked his head pretty good getting out of the car. I think he rattled himself a little bit. I don't know. I mean, we know this is going to lead to some sort of match. I would love to see a hair versus hair match between these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And especially if Hook was to lose, and then he could come out with a towel over his head like his dad the next week. That kind of be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I could see this having one or two matches leading into all in, all out, having a cage match, a first blood match.
Yeah.
Some type of that where it gets, and maybe there you go. Maybe have a hair versus hair match and it still continues and they come out on a pay-per-view and he's wearing a towel over his head, but he's also wearing a black and orange singlet.
Yes. The only person his dad would approve of wearing orange would be him, I think. And so I want to know who's driving Jack around. Is it Anna Jay, you think?
No, it's a guy.
I would like to see Anna Jay get involved in this storyline, though, to be honest.
I mean, Jack brought her up. It would only make sense.
He could use a valet. He will. He's going to be the heel. He can use a valet.
Yep.
All right. Now
you can move on. Yes.
All right. I was trying to just skim past that, but Tanner's got to bring us back. Back from break, we see Renee as usual because AEW equals Renee.
And she's awesome.
Catching up with Don Callis. Callis says he will personally be announcing the fifth member of Blackpool Combat Club's team at Blood and Guts. Renee asks if he's afraid of being vulnerable given that he'll be in the ring alone. And Callis says he isn't afraid of Kenny Omega.
And the only thing I could look at during this promo is the scar on Callis' head.
Oh man, that just seems like it's getting darker and darker every week.
Well, no, it's getting brighter and brighter. I think
Yeah.
it's more red every week.
Yeah.
Well, I meant a darker red. Sorry.
They might have to put makeup. They have to.
They have to, don't they?
They emphasize that scar.
Yeah. They want you to remember that the BCC caused that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the
All
BCC,
right.
Yeah, the BCC caused it, but yet he's BCC now.
Because he bled with them.
Yeah. Remember, you got to bleed together. So, but see, here, this is the problem. Then why aren't Kenny and Hangman both BCC?
Yeah. Can't have the whole roster.
Evil Uno.
Yeah. Let's see who else. 10.
Yeah. Quite a few.
Well, formerly known as 10. Preston Vance. All right. We head over to another video package. This one is of MJF and Adam Cole bonding at a hotel bar. MJF asks where they're going after. Cole has an idea that MJF is not impressed with. The two end up back in one of their rooms playing AEW Fight for Forever. Nice product placement.
I love this whole thing. I thought this was great. I enjoyed it all. I mean, you got MJF taking on 4 girls for himself because Adam Cole's like, no, I'm good. I got Britt. And then MJF wants him to wear the Better Than You Baby shirt. Adam's like, I admit I didn't lose it like I told you it did, but I'll wear it if we do one thing. And MJF's like, what's that? Adam Cole whispers in his ear. He's like, what the? And then they're playing Fight Forever, and MJF's having a good time, and they beat FTR for the tag titles, and Adam Cole tells him, you're pretty cool, Max. Max like, do you really mean that? And everybody's loving it. Twitter's loving it. The crowd's loving it. We're going to get our hearts broken by it, but that's what's going to make it great.
Yeah. Remember, MJF's never played a multiplayer game before. Gotta have friends for that.
I thought it was awesome.
It was. Now we go ringside for match 2 of the night. I mean, we're this far into the show and only at match 2. And that is Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus JS's Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Sammy came out the face tunnel. Towards the end of the match, let's see, where am I at? Garcia locks in the Dragon Tamer on Cassidy on the outside. Prince Nana marches down to the ring, captures Garcia's attention, hands him Allen's skateboard. Allen sees what's happening on the outside. He grabs the skateboard from Garcia on the outside, allowing Swerve Strickland to blindside Allen. Guevara takes advantage of the chaos, delivers the GTH for the win. After the match, however, Garcia hops out of the ring, but Guevara shakes Allen's hand before getting out. I think it's coming, or it's a big swerve. No pun intended.
Yeah, I thought that was different with the handshake. I didn't know what they were going for there.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to show respect with Sammy and Darby, and they're pushing Sammy towards the face. Like Paul said, he comes out of the face tunnel. He's starting to get better reactions from the crowd. I was surprised by the result. I thought Darby and Orange were going to go over, but them losing dirty doesn't hurt them at all. And it makes sense with how the rest of the show played out tonight. But
Orange didn't take the pin.
Didn't take the pin, nope. Right.
So he's still there. He's still okay there.
Yep, and he's still undefeated individually. And since he's not they didn't announce it tonight for Collision, he's not going to defend the international. It will be the longest time since he became international champion that he hasn't defended. I think he's going on 17 days right now. So that's kind of surprising. But now that they're out of the tag tournament, maybe we see him defend it again next week or the following week. But good win for Garcia and Guevara. I mean, they're in the blind eliminator finals.
Yeah. Orange is just taking a page out of your boy's handbook there.
Who's my boy?
Your champion over there on your SmackDown show that you love so much.
I'm not even acknowledging that.
Oh, you're not going to acknowledge him? All right. Anyway, after that match, we go to a commercial break. We come back from the break and head to Renee again. We see Adam Cole pacing around behind her on the phone, guessing with Britt Baker. Roderick Strong walks in, asks Cole if he's seriously starting to become friends with MJF. Cole blows off the question after he gets a text from AEW champion about being sick.
I like them weaving Roddy into this.
Yes. This was an interesting segment. I feel like it should have been placed earlier in the show.
I was glad they showed him earlier watching the monitor backstage or watching the TV backstage. I like them weaving in him as another layer to the story because in the back of my mind, I'm like, is he going to turn on Cole or is Cole going to turn on him? It's got me guessing a little bit.
Yeah. I just watched Brian Cage walk by and I think I've got the flu.
That was pretty good.
Yep.
Yes. And then we head straight into the match after the commercial break, I think.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that was the only thing that separated the, 30 seconds since I have the flu to him walking out. And that is the semifinals match for the Blind Eliminator Tag Tournament. Better Than You, Bebe takes on Brian Cage and Shep's favorite named superstar, Big Bill.
Can I comment on him real quick before we get into
What's with the stupid sucker in his mouth? If you're from New York or New Jersey, you think you're a freaking East Coast asshole, you gotta have a sucker in your mouth. Is he Italian? No. His name is Big Bill. He's not eating fucking pasta primavera every night.
There's the E.
You're not in the mob. Just move on next.
I thought he was fantastic the other night. I think he can be, and here's what I tweeted. He could be a monster heel in the company. Still not sure about his name. That was my tweet.
No.
Yeah, I'm not dogging his looks or his actual physical and wrestling ability, but the stuff they make him do, it's stupid. It's stupid. And until you change his name, until you make him not think he's part of the Sopranos, then it's whatever. You know what? He's as dumb as Brian Cage and his stupid freaking mohawk, and Prince Nana, who is a worthless piece of you-know-what and a worthless ballet. It's so stupid. The whole gimmick sucks. Just blah.
Tell us how you really feel about it, Shep.
It's just dumb. Waste of time.
I like this team.
I don't. I think they should have let Brian Cage go a while ago. He dresses like he's a middle to lightweight with his kick pads and everything, and he is a roided out beast with a stupid mohawk and has a stupid valet. Prince Nana, or I mean, what is this? Coming to America with freaking Eddie Murphy again, or whatever that stupid movie was.
Yeah, Coming to America.
Yes. Yeah.
I almost did 2 spit takes already during this podcast.
Yeah, and technically we're only like 20 minutes in since Shep joined us.
Yes, but
So, serious question, Shep. Bill has what it takes to go. The name has to go. What if you had the pencil, if you were in charge of creative, what are you renaming Bill?
I think you go back. I think you go back to his name, Morrissey. He was effective in Impact the way they booked him. Okay, and he came into AEW as Morrissey, right?
yeah, he was WH Morrissey or W Morrissey.
Okay. You can drop the initials. Just call him Morrissey. That's his last name. But instead, you let a kindergartner pick his name. Hey, Big Bill.
And you can't teach that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's childish. I'm sorry, Tony. You had too much caffeine, cocaine, or something, and just said, "Hey, that looks good. Let's call him Big Bill. He's a big guy. His name's William. Yeah, Bill."
Yeah. I just and I wouldn't have liked it to begin with, but it still would have been different if he started in AEW with that name. But the fact that they changed it, I just never really understood that.
No reason to change it.
I really never understood that.
Yeah. No, and again, I think I said this before I went on my little bit of a mini tirade, which I'm obviously really good at these this week.
Hey, That's
Anyways,
It's not the first one you've had tonight.
It's perfectly okay. Perfectly all right.
Live this week. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't know where was I even going. Like, just don't think we're just idiots and changing 1 week. 1 week he's H. Morrissey, the next week he's Big Bill. Like,
especially if they had plans to use him eventually as much as they are now, you know.
And then, like, if you remember correctly, he ended John Moxley's reign at GCW with Stokely, my buddy, which I've grown to like Stokely. Him and I are best friends. Like, play off of that. Right. He wasn't Big Bill when he affected Moxley in the title. He was Morrissey. So, like, play into that. You had a hell of a story there, and could have made him a monster heel. At the time, Mox was a great face. Yeah, I mean, again, this just little stuff like that just irks me. Yeah, but again, the guy's got the great look, great ability in the ring. He could be really good. Just needs a little twerking.
Yep.
And we're not talking Cardi B twerk.
But good win for MJF and Adam Cole, even though they tried to hit that double clothesline, but they couldn't do it.
So
couldn't do it.
Double clothesline wins them the champion, or wins them the tournament next week, right?
It's got to.
And how about Cole doing a little bit of the heel stuff with the eye poke and stuff? I love that. Great touch.
Yep.
Great touch.
Yep.
And tell old Mazin, yeah, I'm showing my hatred. I got a lot of hatred this week. Okay, big guy. It's going to keep on going.
It's been a heck of a week for Shep.
Hey, that's why I told him, hey, let it out tonight. It's all good.
Yep. All right, so after the match, Cole and MJF each grab a mic. MJF asks if there are any devil worshippers in the house. And I don't know if I'm the only one who caught it, but they started chanting Satan.
Did they? I heard something, but I didn't pick up what it was.
I think that's what it sounded like to me. And I was only halfway paying attention, so I could be wrong, but that's what it sounded like to me. But he calls for Cole to hit his signature pose. Cole does the Bebe part, or Adam Cole Bebe part. MJF plugs their new t-shirt. Cole then asks who's ready for story time.
I'm going to go check how that's selling.
Probably pretty well.
I mean, I haven't bought a wrestling t-shirt since an FTR and Briscoe shirt, 5 months ago? The podcast shirts that we have. If I'm going to buy a shirt, I might buy that one.
It's a good looking shirt.
Well,
it is.
It's a great shirt.
All right, you do that, and then we'll if we have
it's number one for the week.
It should be.
It's number one, and number two, CM Punk's jacket that's available for 2 weeks, and then Bullet Club Gold is third and fifth.
Wasn't there a CM FTR shirt?
Yes, that is eighth. I mean, this just shows you Punk's jacket's number 2, his Best in the World shirt's number 6, and his shirt with Larry on it's number 7.
And then FTR's 8.
Yep, FTR is 8.
So he's got 4 in the top 8.
Yeah. I mean, everybody can say what they want about the guy. He's their biggest thing they got. Plain and simple.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Money talks.
He's not as big as Big Bill.
Let's see, monthly seller. The Adam Cole MJF seller is number 1 for the month.
Well, we're only 12 days in.
I know. And yeah.
All right. So story time with Adam Cole. Cole says he never thought that tagging with MJF would work out in his wildest dreams. He says he has high expectations to win the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament and says they get a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championship on July 29th if they win.
which is
These
Collision.
Both stay on. Yes, if they both stay on the path they've been on, the fans are looking at the new title holders.
So I was thinking about this today before the show. I think it's
Yes.
pretty smart how they're dividing the tag team action. So FTR is going to be primarily pretty much just on Collision, right? So we're only getting tag team title matches on Collision for right now, but we're getting this whole Eliminator tournament on Dynamite. I think that's pretty smart.
Spread the love. Mm-hmm. I can get that.
Especially if you're going to have FTR and House of Black only on Collision, there's trios and tag titles right there, only on Collision. I mean, where's the championships for Dynamite?
Well, if you're going to do that, then you're leaving, as of right now, you're leaving out guys like the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's with them as a tag team or you throw Kenny in there as a trios.
I know.
They're only going to be on Dynamite. I mean, those are they're your top echelon stars, so that you got to find a way to marry this.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good, right? But
going into August with London and Chicago, they're going to have to be very, very open to creative decisions by Tony to make this work.
right. Well, and especially if I was gonna hit on this later, but Fightful Sean Ross Sapp reported today, that they expect a big deal to be announced soon, summer or fall, from Warner Bros. Discovery and AEW about their next TV contract. Sounds like Warner wants them to do more pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Which, how do you guys feel about that? Because we've already seen them add All In this year, so that's up to, 6?
Well, all the pay-per-views are through Bleacher Report, right?
Right, but it wasn't reported if that would change or not, if it would become part of Max or not. But it's just Warner wants them to do more pay-per-views. That was the main thing today.
Meaning a monthly pay-per-view like your best friend Vince.
Yep. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I liked the method.
I like it spread out. So when I started watching professional wrestling back in the tape VHS days, we had WrestleMania. No, let's start the start of the year. You had Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Big Four.
The Big Four. And then I think you had some premium live events in there.
You had to in your houses, right?
Well, you had
eventually.
You had the Big Four, and then they started the in your house stuff.
Yeah.
Which was basically the big premium live events, as they call them nowadays.
Right.
I don't mind, and I guess if you look at it, is that in WWF days, that's one a quarter, the way they did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
One event a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Then they brought the in your house, so that probably had that started the once a month or once every other month. I kind of like every 2 months, every 2 to 3 months. I really do.
Yeah.
It makes you do the bigger shows on cable television to keep the interest there.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you have some great matches on cable television, like a blood and guts match next week. Instead of making a pay-per-view around that,
correct,
and charging $49.95, you're going to reward your normal viewers. Hey, look, yeah, I'm paying cable. I have it on television. I get it free next week.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if they do go with one pay-per-view a month or even every other month, it's got to go on Max, like what the WWE Network does now with Peacock, because I think that only makes you can't ask your fans you can't ask them to go back how it was in the old days and spend $50 a month. You just can't do that with all these streaming options. But I also like the point you hit on, Shep. I'm afraid if they go to that model, I think your TV product on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision is going to suffer a little bit.
Yeah, because you're gonna hold some of those matches back for that once a month pay-per-view, so you can get the $49.95 out of me.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this.
And that'll be really, really hard to have a Dynamite, a Rampage, a Collision 4 weeks a month, and then on a Sunday night have a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
It's a lot. I mean, this week's a lot just for AEW with Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, then Battle of the Belts. I mean, we have 3 hours Saturday night this week.
Yes.
Which the Battle of the Belts stuff sucks. I loved the idea at first, but those shows have sucked. So
Because, I mean, hey, I get what they're doing. They're trying to give guys that you not normally would see on the main television show a title shot. That's why we're getting, Sean Spears and Lucha, right?
Yep.
I mean, I get it. It gives those guys a little bit of exposure. But other than that,
Yeah.
All right. So now we're to the point where we head backstage and see Jake Hager in his purple hat. As they enter Chris Jericho's locker room, Hager asks Jericho if he's seriously considering Callis' offer. Jericho says he doesn't know yet. Hager then takes off his beloved purple bucket hat and says, given everything they've been through together, he deserves to know Jericho's plan. He then hands Jericho his hat and walks off.
The purple hat.
I like the sound of Hager tonight. He talks about, how he saved Jericho in Abu Dhabi. True story. He talks about he followed Jericho to AEW and gave up his undefeated MMA career. True story. That was the best they've used Hager in months.
Mm-hmm.
Short, sweet, realistic.
And
it was,
and they incorporated the purple hat.
And they incorporated his hat he loves.
I love that hat.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah.
I really think this is a split of the JS. It feels like they're all going in different directions.
We don't need the JS right now.
No, we don't. It's been a year and a half, I think. It's time for Jericho to finally not be in a faction, even though it looks like he might be. But
yeah,
what is the Don Callis family? Is it gonna be right now? Is he with the BCC or not?
That hasn't been established, so I think it's just him and Takeshita right now.
Okay, well,
he's recruiting more members.
Yeah, well, the member he recruited now, it blew goats. It was a big flop.
I had a feeling it was going to be that guy or one other guy, which we'll talk about.
Dumb.
It makes sense with the story, but I feel like whoever they chose for the fifth man of BCC, it wasn't going to get a big reaction, opposed to who we all knew was going to show up for the Elite.
Well, there's one guy they could have had.
True. Well, we'll get into that. But.
And he likes Annie's Bakery in Chicago.
Why do I feel like that's not the name? I'll look it up.
I
feel like we butcher it every.
I think it's Annie's Bakery. I haven't ordered anything from Miss Annie.
Mindy's.
Who?
Mindy's.
You were thinking Annie Ann's pretzels.
See, you're already getting the pickles chip. Now you got to get the muffins.
Oh, just ordered. I think I texted you guys last Thursday.
Just got in time, didn't you?
Barely. I was just sitting there. I had an alarm set, got busy, and I was like, oh, my God, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then the pickles dropped. It was 7:24. I got on there, and they still had stock. And I just took one of each. And as soon as I placed that, I went back. I got an email like, hey, it's ending soon. And then there was 2 or 3 more flavors that I thought would be good, so I got a double order of those. So
we're gonna have a lot of pickle reviews on the pods coming up.
Yeah.
I told my wife, she saw she's like, what is this online charge stuff? I'm like, yeah, I like that. She's like, did you spend that much on pickles? I'm like, maybe. But
has she tried them?
I didn't really share a lot, Tanner.
All right. Well, I'm thinking if you share and she likes them, then she won't care.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I did order double batches, but I mean, I'm still pretty damn selfish when it comes to those pickles.
I mean, if she but the problem is if she likes them, she might want to use them for her charcuterie boards.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
you don't charge enough for them. Them things. Although I did do my first Bloody Mary last weekend with some of the Kalen spicy
Spears.
Devil Spears. I saved that juice and I made a Bloody Mary out of it. And it tastes like a Bloody Mary, but I'm gonna say it was really good because of the pickle juice.
There we go.
Yes. Anyway, what were we talking about?
What?
Hager's hat.
Hager's hat. We went to Hager's hat to Kalen and Kalen Pickles.
It's rabbit hole night, baby.
Yes.
All right. So, shall we talk about the 9:30 match?
Women's match.
9:30 match. The semifinals for the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Ruby Soho taking on Sky Blue. Pretty early on into the match, Storm sends Blue into the ring steps. The ref sees it, ejects her and Saraya from ringside. Soho continuously throws Sky Blue's knee into the ring steps just to make sure it was damaged, so she had a better chance of winning. Towards the end, we see Soho go for Destination Unknown. Blue escapes, looks for Code Blue. Soho blocks it, locks in a knee submission. Blue grabs the bottom rope to break the hold before Soho delivers No Future off the ropes for the win.
It was okay. I mean, I hate the placement of these women's matches, just because I feel like Tanner's uncle Vince places them in the same spot. So all of a sudden now Tony is just got to be like Tanner's uncle and does the same thing. So it's kind of like, okay, we know this is the pre-main event, so let's watch this 6 to 8 minute match and move on.
Yeah.
Nothing against the female talent. I think they work their tail off.
Who do you guys think goes over Friday? Athena or Willow?
If you listen to an outspoken Athena on social media, I would say Willow.
I agree.
But maybe that's just her trying to get a little momentum behind her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ruby and Athena, which I'm sure they have worked together in Tanner's uncle's company. I think those two could put on a very, very entertaining 12 to 15 minute match.
I think Willow will get the win, but then the ultimate question is Willow or Ruby Saturday.
Ruby,
yeah. I think it's time. It's time.
Yeah,
time to give her a little bit of glory.
Yeah, with or without the Outcasts, it's Ruby's time. All right, and now for the main event, a match that's been, 2 years in the works, basically?
I was giddy for this all day long today.
Oh, yeah. I was looking forward to Nick Wayne versus Swerve Strickland. I'm glad this was the main event and didn't open the show, because I was almost afraid that's what they were going to do.
I was too, and I was glad they had the vignette with Nick Wayne. You know, they did a really good job the last 2 weeks, sharing with the audience who Nick Wayne is, why we need to care about this guy. I mean, and there were so many times I had to remind myself tonight, this kid just turned 18 last week.
Yeah.
But he's been on the independent scene for 3 years, 2.5 years. I mean, I've watched him for over a year and a half at GCW, and I think when you guys invited me into this podcast, I don't know how long ago,
last March.
Yeah, we've talked about him.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, he's fun.
And then Darby presented him a iffy contract. As long as you do, A, B, and C, you're going to be all elite. And he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was at an independent show. I think it was at a Rev Pro show. Not Rev Pro.
Defy.
Rev Pro is British.
Mm-hmm.
But, I had a Defy show where him and, at one point in time, Nick Wayne held the championship belt there.
Yep. Over Swerve. But really good. It was cool. He took his time on his entrance. He soaked it all in. Looked up to the heavens at his dad. They showed his mom on camera. And then him and Swerve put on a good show.
Mom. Hey, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah. She's not bad to look at. He and Swerve put on a good match. I think Swerve's the best seller in AEW. That dude bumps his ass off.
You know, you get these superstars. It's like one a generation that outsells everybody. In WWE, you had The Rock. And I think Swerve is almost on that Rock level of selling.
He's really good. I mean, I'm a broken record on here. I think he's going to be AEW World Champion someday. I really do. I think he's that good.
Man, you've been saying that since he came to the company.
I have, and I'm going to stick to it until it happens because I think it's going to happen eventually.
And you guys can look this up. I know he was a huge independent star, and I know he was huge and involved. Did he ever have an NXT contract?
Swerve? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was in NXT, and they used him decently.
What was his name?
I'm getting it for you here. He was Isaiah Swerve Scott, and he was the NXT North American champion.
He was a North American. Okay.
He was with NXT he was with Lucha Underground from 14 to 18, MLW 17 to 19, with WWE from 19 to 21. Then he went back to the independents and then joined AEW in 2022.
Yeah, but that 19 to 21, so that 18 to 19, he was with Involve. He had to have some banger matches in Involve.
I'm sure he did. Wikipedia's just saying MLW from 17 to 19. But yeah.
I think he is a great talent. I like his work. Monster heel. And then obviously can go in the ring. Love this match.
This is my kind of wrestling. This is what I enjoy the most.
The best part was the finish of how he went over Nick. It left a lot of open doors for the future.
Yep.
Okay?
Yes, it did.
Got a clean finish, which I love. They did not give Nick the cheap win or whatever. Got the clean finish. Hey, I beat you. Let's carry this on. So
yeah, Swerve needed this. He's lost, a couple matches here and there this year, some bigger matches. Doesn't hurt Nick Wayne. He showed the world what he could do tonight. He looked awesome. Couple messy spots here and there. I think he was probably nervous. There was one time I know he went for his jump over to the ropes, and then he was going to do a flip, and his leg caught the rope a little bit. I mean, that stuff happens. So I don't even call that a botch. That's just not as smooth as it could be. But he looked good, and I liked at the end he was begging for Darby's help. He was looking at Darby, and then after he snaps his elbow, he's calling for Darby to come in, but Darby didn't come in the ring then. Darby came in afterwards. So it looks like Swerve and Darby are going to continue a rivalry, but there's a lot of seeds there. I mean, I could almost see down the road Darby and Nick Wayne, one's going to turn on the other eventually. It's going to be great.
Now, was he waving for Darby to help, or was he waving for the medical attention?
It could have been medical, but the way they shot it, it looked like he was pointing in Darby's direction.
Yeah, I was thinking the opposite. I think he was saying, "Hey, throw the X up." I need medical attention, but
but good stuff.
Yeah. All right, and now for the non-main event. Don Callis comes out, says he's going.
They should call this a flop event, right?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Sorry.
All right. Is it because it had Don Callis in it, or just because it was crap?
No, Don Callis and the Elite did not ruin the segment.
Okay. Well, Callis comes out and says he's here to announce the 5th member of the BCC that will slaughter Kenny Omega and the rest of the Elite. Then says Omega deserves everything coming his way. Omega's music hits as he makes his way down to the ring. He gets attacked by Moxley and Takashita. And then we see the return of Pac.
Pac is back.
Throws a chair into his back, beats him down, grabs the mic, says Omega has no idea how long he's waited for this after Omega and the Elite shattered his nose bone. He reveals himself as the 5th member before he ascends to the top. Moxley And Takashita slide his head into a chair. Callis mocks Omega. Omega says the Elite still has yet to reveal their fifth member, and a video package begins playing, revealing Kota Ibushi as the Elite's fifth member.
The Golden Lovers and Golden Elite are back.
I
Golden
love
Elite.
the end of this segment, okay, with the Golden Lovers. I think we all, Tanner's been calling for it for like the last 62 years.
We knew it was coming, but it was still great.
It was in the way they did it.
We haven't seen Pac since the Best of 7, right?
Yeah, in January.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we haven't seen this since the Best of 7, but Pac does not. The Pac does not fit in the BCC. He doesn't. He doesn't. And it was such a letdown when they brought him in.
I think his style does, but
no. He's a high flyer, borderline luchador.
But he's also a brutalizer.
He's 5'7".
I know, but
tomatoes.
But I will say something with Pac that's always bothered me. I think his talent's unbelievable, but
his ears bother you, don't it? It's his ears. Don't like Tanner. It's his ears.
No, not his ears. Because no, I don't. It's not his ears, but it's something I can't pinpoint. I just never have got into him. I don't know why.
It's because he doesn't talk, and if he does talk, you can't understand him.
I wouldn't even say that. I don't know. He's not a main event act to me. I'm not disagreeing with you there at all. I'm not disagreeing that. Is he a main event act when he was in a trios match or whatever? Yeah. And this tells me he's not with Death Triangle anymore.
Yeah. How do you go from the Death Triangle to Claudio and Mox? It doesn't make sense. If you wanted to make money, hold on, I shouldn't say that. They're making money. If you wanted to make even more money, there's only one guy that fit this realm, and that's Punk. I'm sorry.
And when I sent you guys the 5-4 report, Sean Ross Sapp kind of explained more today. He thinks, from what he's been told, Punk said it like he'd be willing to do so, but they don't know how serious he really was. It was kind of more of a, I'm willing to play ball sort of thing.
Hey,
but
here's the deal. We all can, people can come in and say, hey, I'll do this, do that.
Right.
It comes down to it. The check writer tells you what to do.
You're right.
Okay?
But Punk wouldn't have made sense in this story, though.
Against the Elite?
But why would he side with the BCC when he's a face?
Why would he side with Moxley when Moxley's the one who got his title when he got suspended, injured?
But it gives him a chance to come back against the Elite, and then at the end when they go over, okay, he looks at Mox and says, "I owe you one. I owe you one." You could tie that in together so easily, or even if Punk saves Moxley from taking the pin or taking the submission or whatever it is, and they go over, and then he looks back and says, "Mox, I owe you one," or "You owe me one," type deal. You could tie that in so smoothly.
Yeah, we know what direction you'd go if you had the pencil. It's all makes sense.
The big thing is I don't use a pencil; I have a pen.
It's permanent. Actually, the guy I thought it was going to be tonight was Chris Hero. I really did. I thought Tony's been hinting he's trying to get him in the company. He's got history with Claudio as a partner. I don't know how the crowd would have reacted to it, but I thought that would have been pretty cool.
How far back do we have to go to see a Chris? There was a Chris Hero CM Punk match in ROH, right?
Yeah, you got to go back for all of his stuff. He hasn't wrestled in a while.
But what was he called in NXT? He wasn't called Chris Hero.
It was started with an O. I'm trying not to look it up.
I don't know.
Wasn't it like Ono or something? I'm gonna look it up now. That's bothering me.
Is he?
There was an oh no, but
Is he Japanese all of a sudden?
What did he go by? Gosh, he's wrestled in a lot of pro. He was with ROH from 05 to 12. Here we go. He was Apollo Ono. Yeah, I was right.
Apollo Ono. What's the dumbest name ever?
Or Ono. It was a taken from Apollo Ono. It was Cassius Ono. Excuse me. Cassius Ono. Yeah.
Majin beat you to the punch.
Yep. That's what he's here for.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna get our ratings in here real quick, and we'll let the champ go first. Tanner.
I'm raising the one because I am the champ and I don't have my belt at arm's length.
Oh, slacker!
Belt above your head like I do.
I need to mount it because it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, I mean, has Paul ever had that thing? Like, he never goes.
Yes.
Oh.
I think he won it at the
had
last
it for the
ROH
longest.
one.
Well, at one point before Shep came along, I was the longest reigning KOP predictions champion.
You were.
I'm glad I could help change history.
Yeah, thanks. I haven't done well since you joined.
I really enjoyed tonight's show. I thought it was really good. I think AEW's clicking on all cylinders. I think professional wrestling right now is at a great spot. I think we're almost on the heels of another boom period. Professional wrestling, which I haven't been able to say in a long time. 8-7.
Wow.
I really enjoyed it tonight.
He said he was probably going to be in the 8s tonight.
It delivered. Man. It delivered on
Shep, before I let you go, so I can't be accused of just taking your guys' stuff. I'm going 7-9. It was a good product, but I can't get over that. I got to go talk to MJF because we're not going to let him have the flu thing. Go to a commercial break, come back, and hey, we're here like nothing ever happened.
I liked the show. I thought it had some really good spots, some really good matches, but there were some things that just shit the bed, Fred. I gave some shows a lot worse, with more star power.
Oh no.
I'm all about tonight. I'm right at 7.4.
Dang it, I still came in the middle of you two.
But next week with Blood and Guts and the blind tag team finals, it could. I don't know. It takes a lot to get into 9s.
I might break 8 for the first time in a long time.
Look, it's perfect. This is what we talked about earlier. We're gonna have a show next week that's pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah.
But the way TK has it set up, it's not that way. I can go fully aboard, and I'm sure they're looking at a revenue aspect compared to me looking at a fan aspect. But I love it. We're getting a pay-per-view card for free. We all pay for cable television, but anyways, we're getting a pay-per-view card on a regular weekly television show when we should pay $39.99 or $49.99 for this card next week.
And what I love about Blood and Guts, it's got to be violent. You're going to have an end to this rivalry, but there's so many storylines within this match that can continue after the match.
Yeah.
And we get a debut of a big wrestling name we haven't seen wrestle in quite a while. Never seen him in AEW. Kota Ibushi.
Who probably after next week's show we'll get the
you think we'll get the graphic?
The graphic, yeah. We'll get the All Elite graphic.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if he does or not, because he acted like he doesn't want to be tied down to one company, but he wants to do a lot with AEW. So,
hey, AEW gives you the freedom.
Yep.
I think Tanner sent it yesterday. We're going to see Jeff Hardy and
Jeff freaking Hardy in GCW.
Yeah.
And it's the Detroit show, right?
Night before SummerSlam, August 4th.
So I've watched that show before. That venue
It's tiny.
Oh my gosh. It's stupid tiny. If I remember correctly, last year that was the venue that Kevin Nash showed up, which I would bet you $1 he was intoxicated when he took the mic.
No. Kevin?
Yeah.
Not Kevin.
And the fans are right on the ring apron. There's no opening. And again, I'm pretty sure that was Nick Wayne and Ospreay in that.
That match was stupid, too.
I'm pretty sure that was that whole show in Detroit. So, and it's an old theater that they do it in. Some old movie theater or music theater or whatever.
So what you're saying, Shep, is the Times Theater should host wrestling.
Well, sure.
Right on the
I
first
just
federal
leave-
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I almost left Shep speechless there. I feel kind of
Well,
special.
I mean, hey, I'm all about it. I'm all about having some professional wrestling in our little town.
Support the indies.
Yep.
Support the indie.
All right, so we're gonna go in backwards order this time. So Shep, you're up first. Who's your wrestler of the night?
My wrestler of the night.
See if Tanner gets mad.
Look, I have the obvious choice. Yeah, I'm gonna go Nick Wayne. Yeah, I think I've actually had Nick Wayne as my wrestler of the choice before, like 6 months ago, before he even. You're finally learning, man. I appreciate you. You're finally learning that dude is a bad son of a buck. Okay.
And for all of our audio listeners, who are you referring to there, Shep?
That's Marty McSwirly.
Swirly.
Our boy Majin up in, I'm pretty sure he's in Canada, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He finally recognized that Marty McSwirly is a living legend.
Yeah, and Shep, he's drinking Molson. Molson Canadian tonight, he said.
Hey, dude, I love me some Molson Extra Dry. Dude, that beer hits different. It hits different than what we get here in the States.
And I should note, this is the last week for AEW on their Canadian cycle for time being. So
Yeah.
Like cycle, I mean, never mind. I
didn't want to say tour. Don't even go there. We're getting blood and guts next week. We don't even stop.
And you're talking about cycles.
You said it, Tater, not me.
Oh man. It's almost like, hey, be sure to tune in to AEW SmackDown this Friday night.
I mean, Tanner, never mind. Anyways, hey, it's good to get them. Them guys did a hell of a tour in Canada. Let's
They
get
did.
them.
Yep.
Good for them. I thought they had some really, really hot crowds up in Canada. Canada's always been a great professional wrestling country, territory, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, yeah.
All right, Tanner, I'll be nice and let you go next.
Thank you. Oh, who do I want to pick tonight?
Oh, hey, we didn't talk about that dumb blonde doing the rap, did we?
Oh,
No, I skipped that for a reason.
Thank you.
yeah, I missed that. I saw what she was saying, but
Hold on, all of our listeners, I didn't mean that derogatory towards a female.
No.
That was absolutely worthless.
QTV
That was
stuff's garbage.
ridiculous.
And let's get into that. Sorry, Tanner. Before
You're good.
Rabbit
Go for
hole.
Yeah, rabbit hole number 47. Why can't we
Careful with where you're pointing there, Tanner.
Why can't we portray QT as what he's being portrayed down in Mexico in AAA as a monster heel? And the stuff is great. The stuff we see on social media with him and Penta is awesome. Freaking awesome. But yeah, he comes back to AEW and we get this just dumb Billy Bob bullshit.
But if you because I know chances are you probably fast forwarded through that trying to catch up.
It was dumb.
The
Stupid.
video does show QT being that caliber of a wrestler, though. And you see him going over on Penta at that.
Yeah, but they're spraying freaking, but not like Aaron Solo's an idiot. Absolute idiot. The only reason we know Aaron Solo is because he dated Bailey.
He dumped her.
I think she dumped
Did she dump him?
I would hope so. Because if Bailey got dumped by that jackalope, I'm sorry, Bailey. I lost a lot of respect because I like Bailey, but
Sure you do, Shep.
hey-o.
Look, I mean, Hobbs turned on them, so they got to try to make QT look a little strong, or it's not going to be believable that he can go against Hobbs.
Yeah. But now they got Johnny Nitro, Johnny Elite, Johnny
TV,
Johnny Casey's Pizza, breakfast pizza, whatever it is.
They got hell of breakfast pizza.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Because it has too much bacon on it, but how can he have too much bacon?
Yeah.
Of course, he's not from the Midwest. He's from them Long Islanders or East Coasters or New Yorkers or yeah.
He hangs out with Big Bill.
He hangs out with Big Bill and has a bunch of
For real.
No. So, anyways, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's interesting when we've seen that before in AEW, where AEW, the characters one way, and then they go into the indies or a different promotion and work, and they're totally different. Look at Archer. Monster in Japan, which he's finally on Rampage this week.
Speaking of, we got a little video package for Archer tonight that looked
which was awesome.
Amazing.
They showed him in Rev Pro. They showed him in New Japan being a monster this past month because he's going against Trent Friday night. So he's finally back on TV, and they're showing him as a monster. Okay, Tony, run with it this time. Every time we see Archer do something good, you go with it a little bit, then you pull it back.
If he doesn't beat Trent in under 5 minutes, it's dumb.
100%. That's nothing against Trent, but 100%.
Yeah. And I think I texted you guys this. I watched that 2-day show.
Independence Day show?
Archer is over.
Yeah.
He's over there. Like, you're talking Cheers. He's with that Alex Zane guy, the redheaded guy. He's over in New Japan. Yeah. That's crazy stuff, man.
Get Jake back on the side. Let's go.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know if
he probably doesn't need Jake, but I just want to see.
He doesn't need Jake, but
yeah. But no, I was excited to see that he's gonna be on Rampage because I think he's another one they've really fumbled for a while.
And I think you can actually portray him. From what I saw of that show, the New Japan show, you could maybe portray him as a face.
Yeah.
He'd be a big son of a buck face.
I mean, remember, he did beat Moxley in that tornado or that Texas death match to win the IWGP US title. But besides that, we haven't really seen him do much in AEW. I mean, he lost the TNT title to Cody in the first tournament during the Daly's place. But besides that, he hasn't done much. It's time.
I love how we're no longer referring to it as the COVID period. It's the Daly's place era.
Yeah.
So much better because COVID.
Yeah, because there was some good stuff then. It's just hard to go back and watch. Like, I've tried here and there. I actually watched yesterday. Last night I went back and watched Brody Lee beat Cody for the TNT Championship because I just wanted to watch it again. That was good stuff, man. It's just hard to watch just because of that era. And it's hard to watch stuff with Brody because what could have been.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
But
yep. All right, so Tanner, wrestler of the night.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think here. Trying to think what the. I'm gonna go MJF.
All right.
This is my favorite MJF. The way he's being just a goofball.
Yeah. Shep, I'm surprised you didn't pick your boy because he was technically on TV tonight. It was just in video game format.
He lost.
Yeah. But no, I'm going to go Sammy Guevara.
I almost went there.
Just because I know I'm picking him a lot here lately, it seems like, because this isn't the first time I've picked him
He's
here
growing
recently.
on you again, isn't he, Paul?
No, well, he never stopped.
Okay.
But I like the mystery that's around him. You know, is he heel? Is he face? Is he JS? Is he solo? You know, I'm looking forward to seeing this story play out, and I hope it plays out before he takes time off when the baby's born.
Right. I agree.
I don't want to see this drag out that long. And then he comes back and goes, oh, by the way, in my time off, I had time to think. I'm done with the JES. I'm all about the people now.
Yep.
Because we've seen that way too many times.
I get you.
Yep.
You're right.
I got one more question for you guys before we switch gears completely on the show and talk about a different promotion.
And then I have some thoughts too.
But what do you guys, or for one, what did you think of the FTR Bullet Club Gold match from Saturday?
Fantastic.
I thought it was tag match of the year, in my opinion, for AEW.
Can't wait for this 2 out of 3.
Yes, that's going to be a banger, and so is Punk and Starks. And two, what's your opinion of Collision so far? I see a lot of people like it better than Dynamite.
I don't like it better than Dynamite. It'd get better ratings from me the last couple of weeks. But again, it's still new. They're still doing some different stuff on there to try to draw people in because of the fact that it's new. I mean, Tanner, when we first started watching AEW, we were like, oh man, that was almost a 10 out of 10. And now we're like, So good.
We're spoiled too, though.
Yes. But I will always say, like I say, when a new restaurant comes to town, give it 6 months, I'll see.
It's got a different feel than Dynamite, which I like. I think it's really, really good in ring.
Here's the problem I see. I think it's been really, really good produced. Okay? Can't argue that. But you're going to the what's the demo? 32 to 45? Is that the demo, right? Like I can't.
18 to 49.
18 to 49 is the big one.
Okay. It's fine. 18 to 49. 18 to 49-year-olds on a Saturday night.
Right.
We're going to DVR that.
Yep.
And watch it later.
Yep. That's what I did Saturday. Yep.
Okay. So on a Wednesday night, the 18 to 49-year-olds are probably home. Okay. It's a Wednesday night. Saturday night, they're out doing whatever they do.
Right.
So I think their ratings are going to be skewed because of the placement of the show.
Sure.
So, and if you flip-flop, had Collision on Wednesdays and Dynamite on Saturdays, I still think it'd be the same.
Right.
Your ratings aren't going to change.
Right.
You know, basically you just change the name of your show. So
it's been interesting, the reporting. You know, Warner Brothers doesn't really care about the number, but they want to see it top 5 for programming on Saturday nights, which so far it's doing that. We'll see come college football. That's going to mix things up quite a bit here in a couple months, here in 2 months. But it's also been interesting. It sounds like everything's good backstage with Punk and everybody so far in Collision, and Punk's taking his role as locker room leader and that this is his show pretty seriously. So far, so good. We'll see where it goes. So
even more reason why he should have been the 5th member.
Fair enough.
Of all people, like, you know what? Bring in somebody from New Japan.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have. They had a lot of opportunity there.
So now Majin's on it. He says, "So what do you want to talk about?" Well,
with that being said.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Interesting segments.
I guess we're going to talk about Tanner's uncle's company.
Yeah. well, not my uncle, but we'll talk about the World Wrestling Entertainment, which have you guys noticed they don't even call themselves that anymore? It's just strictly everything's WWE. They never ever mention World Wrestling Entertainment anymore.
No.
Anyways, it's kind of like KFC. You never hear Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's just KFC now.
Although it does say Kentucky Fried Chicken underneath it.
It does. It does. But,
WWE does not say World Wrestling Entertainment under it anymore.
correct. I went down a rabbit hole the other day and watched.
KFC to WWE.
I did.
I love it.
Which you remember when Dolph Ziggler dressed up as Colonel Sanders?
Yes,
Oh, yeah. It was a whole big thing.
Christ.
Everybody did.
But fire promo, I thought, of Cody Monday night.
Cody is great.
He's so real with his words.
I watched this promo, and all it brought up to me was they shit the bed back in WrestleMania. I know he's scheduled for
40.
for 40 in
Philly.
Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
I would say Pennsylvania. I guess
Same state.
same state, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't think, and I'm sure he's going to finish the story, or God, I hope he does. Whatever, but man, I don't think Philadelphia is where his dad would have finished the story, right? The NWA didn't run a lot in Philadelphia. You know, they were like when his dad was there, they were more southern. Where was last year's show was LA, right?
Yes. Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they should have done it then because of the crowd, the hype. I feel if they put the belt name in Philadelphia, I'm sure it'll go over well. Don't be wrong, but it's not my cup of tea.
I don't think this would happen. But my dream scenario, how you can make Cody feel bigger than anything in the world of professional wrestling, I don't foresee this happening. But if I had the pencil and I had all the money, can make everything happen. I get Dwayne to come back for night 1 of WrestleMania, and he confronts Roman ahead of time. I'm the head of the table. You're not until you beat me, blah, 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 blah. They wrestle night 1 with the belt on the line. Roman beats Dwayne. So, he's officially the head of the table, with the family, everything. He's on top of the world. He just beat Dwayne Johnson. Night 2, he faces Cody. Cody goes over Roman. Takes the title off of him. Finishes the story. Just beat the guy who beat Dwayne.
That would be the only way. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way it would justify him not going over last man.
I don't see it happening, but that would be like, okay, bravo, you guys know what you're doing. I'm an idiot for complaining last year.
And are we having a 2-day Mania this year?
Yeah, I think it's 2 days for
next year.
I think it's 2 days from now on. I think they love it, just like Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom's 1 day this year. Or going.
Well, they have that event the night after. Excuse me.
They've announced we only got 1 day Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, well.
I get up before him and fold laundry, remember?
Your wife loves you for that.
I got to get bonus points somewhere.
Yeah, you do. But, I mean, okay, so say they don't do that and Cody just goes over and they have just, Roman only wrestles 1 night. Still big deal, but I don't know. I get he's fighting adversity. I get that. He's got to go over Brock at SummerSlam. Now, what kind of match stipulation are they going to have? Because they got to throw something on it, right? You can't just have another singles match.
No, you have him go over. You got 2 main pay-per-views yet.
Yeah.
And Survivor Series and Rumble.
Oh, 2 after, SummerSlam, yeah.
We're going back to the Big 4.
Yeah.
The other stuff you can
Right.
rumble jumbo your way through. But you have Survivor Series and Rumble that you still have to elevate him.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yep.
Now, I feel like Survivor Series, you have him establish a team to go against the what do you call it? The Chosen Family or whatever.
The Bloodline?
The Bloodline.
Even though they're shattered now.
They're shattered.
The Chosen Family.
but you have Cody and the Usos
Yeah.
together versus Roman and Solo, and they get a team together. You got Sammy and Kevin in there as well. That could go either way. And then the Rumble. The Rumbles, you're going to have a men's match, but you always have a championship match during the Rumble. So, I mean, Cody won the Rumble last year.
You can't have them go back to back, can you?
No, I don't. He just over the top, and if he does, he's got to enter number one. He entered number one and wins it. It justifies it.
Or against Roman or Solo, if Solo's still with Roman, could cost them the Rumble.
Well, if we're gonna build Cody up like I think we're gonna do, right? He goes over Brock. We have a bloodline versus Cody thing at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and then you go into Rumble. The only way he justifies that to go into a Mania and have just as big as Mania as we could have had last year is he enters number one.
Yeah.
You can't have him enter number 15 or 29 and win. It just doesn't have the same effect as entering number one.
Because I feel like they're going to probably pull the trigger on like Gunther in the Rumble, and he'll go after the world title, which still leaves open whatever the Universal, blah, 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 whatever the hell they're calling that now.
Unfortunately, in your uncle's company, all we're worried about is somehow elevating Cody up here and how they're going to do it. Because eventually you're going to pull the trigger on him, right?
Right.
If they don't, then they're done. But whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to do it.
Yeah, they are. They are.
You know, let's not worry about Gunther and Bangers and Mash and all that stuff.
And basically, for people who missed this promo Monday, he said that him and Brock are going to. He challenged Brock to a match at SummerSlam. There's no stipulation or anything, but he said the winner of it, whoever comes out of the cloud of dust, pretty much, is going to be gunning to finish the story. It's pretty much the gist of it.
And I feel like Brock is on his way out. Okay. I like the new Brock we've had of late.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cowboy hat Brock.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. And he knows. So, yeah. No, I really think Cody goes over SummerSlam. Brock rides off in the distance, maybe makes a couple appearances down the road.
Right.
I could see Brock all of a sudden coming out of nowhere saying, "Hey, you beat me 2 out of 3, basically. I'll be on your team at Survivor Series."
That would be interesting because could Cody trust him? Because last time when they were supposed to team up was when Brock turned. So yeah that'd be an interesting wrinkle. Yeah.
But I mean, you know, as it's going right now, you could have it be, if nothing else, Cody, Sammy, KO, Usos. There's your 5.
And I like this scenario too because I think eventually for his journey to 40 work, you got to get him over to SmackDown, where he's in Reigns territory all the time.
Yeah. Well, even if Paul's correct on that team with Cody, you know, you got Solo, Roman, Brock. There's still a couple other spots to be filled, but you could make all of a sudden
Balor and Priest,
Brock, a ally together, and the confrontation those two could have together could be very entertaining as well.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I will give WWE this. Like, I've ripped them in the past, and one reason I was stopped watching pro wrestling until AEW came along and kind of saved my interest was because it was getting so predictable for me. Cody's story's not too predictable as of how he's going to get to Mania.
Right,
right. There was times before AEW, I remember I literally only watched the Rumble. Mania. That's all I watched.
Yeah.
And then AEW kind of changed that.
Yeah.
You know, I started getting back into that. I started watching New Japan. I started watching Independence and going, man, there's a lot of stuff out here that really entertains me.
Yep.
So not dogging on the WWE product, but there's a lot of loopholes or nitpicking we can do. And hey, we're fans. We're paying fans because we pay for this stuff.
Yep.
And we can say it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I enjoy stuff with Cody because I'm a big Cody fan, and I can't say anything bad about the Bloodline story. It's been amazing. But besides that, I don't care for a lot of the stuff they're doing right now. But those two things, thumbs up to Trips and Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh, he used his uncle's full name.
Well, he's got to. I mean, they're family now.
I don't want to be in the doghouse this week.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear those 2 words that Vince is known for.
You're fired. I'd rather hear, that's good shit, pal. It's good shit.
He's even getting pretty good at the impression of him, too. Man.
For a guy that doesn't smoke,
Yeah.
he's got a really deep voice. So.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. All right, boys. So we got anything else we want to touch on before we get out of here?
I thought you did, Paul. I don't have anything else in the holster, but I thought you had something loaded up.
Well, I mean, yes, and this goes back to AEW. All right, so if we're going to bring in the Golden Lovers and we're going to call the Elite the Golden Elite again, I already see where this is going in my mind. What we should see happen is, the Golden Lovers, Bullet Club Gold. The right to keep the name gold in the name. Just something fun, one-off, forces a story that we haven't seen in America. We've seen the Bullet Club versus the Elite before, but this would get it in America. This would put a newer spin on it, have just 2-on-2 instead of, the big brawl. I think it could be fun.
I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity to bring guys in to represent or go against Bullet Club. I think it's 2-on-2, but the Bullet Club on national television is fairly new. Okay? And not saying ROH wasn't on national television, but they were on some late night television.
Yeah, when you're on Sinclair Broadcasting at 11 or midnight. Yeah.
So, the Good Brothers, who I think are still with WWE.
They are. They still do crap with them. Stupid of them. Twice they fell for it.
I don't know when the last time they've been on television.
Yeah.
But
AJ talks about them from time to time. That's about all they get, apart from a passing glimpse.
yeah, I mean, besides that, there's a huge opportunity for the Bullet Club in New Japan and AEW to create that. And the Bullet Club's a great name in professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Great,
cool logo, cool merch.
Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Really
I thought it was interesting in Forbidden Door. We didn't get any Bullet Club action. With the original Bullet Club in Japan with David Finlay and all those guys, none of them were here. Jay White and Juice weren't a part of it. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Which I think Jay and Juice have been awesome. Juice is so entertaining. My God, that guy's hilarious. Which your boys keep the title Saturday night, or is Bullet Club Gold getting the gold on them?
No, they keep the title.
Keep titles.
I think it'll be a great match. Obviously, I think it's going to go 1-1 and then down to the final pin. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great, great match. I think you talked about tag match of the year. I think these guys put on a 20-minute, 25-minute just expedition of a show. So
yeah, I'm really excited for Saturday's Collision. That, and then I think calling out Starks over Punk. Punk puts him over.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be big for Ricky.
That's huge.
Yep,
that's huge.
Yep, I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Now, I could get on board with though Ricky going over there if they do it the right way.
I think they got to make him happy. Ricky's one I could see jumping when his contract's up because he's close with Cody, and I think he's a talent WWE could use. I think he kind of that style they like.
And he's already been backstage.
Yeah.
So take MJF out of the picture. Who's more charismatic than Ricky?
Nobody.
Charismatic.
There's nobody.
Swerve maybe, but he's not going back.
Yeah.
He's charismatic, but he doesn't talk very good.
Right.
Or he doesn't talk enough.
Right.
I want to say he's
Right.
watching that, but man, Ricky has that charisma to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to jump sooner or later when their contract's up, which I know that, well, this guy I don't think will end up there, but I did see today that AEW did not reinstate Brian Pillman Jr.'s contract. He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of social media beef with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know his real story. I know we watched Dark Side of the Ring with his dad in there, and they portrayed him to be a pretty good dude.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff that came out afterwards that said, Junior's got his own problems.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So.
I did not like him as the Varsity Blondes. There was a Cincinnati show that Mox put him over.
Yeah.
But then after that, we
never really saw him.
Never really saw him. So.
Nope.
And one last thing, I was listening to what happened when Conrad and Tony Schiavone today, they were talking about 98 Great American Bash. Before they got into that, they were talking about Eddie winning over in Japan. Tony called Eddie his favorite wrestler of all time today and said he doesn't see that change until the day he dies. Of all time, Eddie Kingston's Tony's favorite. Thought that was big praise. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
He really likes
So
Eddie.
are we going to start getting... So, I mean, if he's Tony's favorite, are we going to start getting, it's Eddie?
He could. After Sting retires, he's got to go to somebody. But good stuff. I'm out of topics unless you guys have anything. That's good shit, pal.
Good shit, Tanner.
I don't have anything else. Shep, do you have anything else before I start wrapping us here?
I think you should wrap it up until I think of something different.
Yeah, I'll be halfway through the rap. The music will be playing, and you'll be like, oh, by the way. All right. Oh, check out kickingoutshop.com for all of your Kicking Out merchandise. Support our great podcast. Look great doing so. Be sure to listen to the Kicking Out podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast. And if that happens to be Apple Podcast, leave us that 5-star review because we are that 5-star KOP. You threw me off, Tanner. You got up and got the belt. I didn't know what was going on.
That's what I do, man.
Oh, you can't be doing that, man. Be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Be sure to follow your KOP predictions champion at Tanner Lee 92. Follow Austin Shepard at the Shep 27. And be sure to follow myself at Paul Zartman 921. And with that, for Tanner Lee and Austin Shepard, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as Shep gives you chops and we kick out yet another podcast.